Yo, I'm bringing it back because we are back for round 2 recap of the NBA playoffs. We've missed you around the house. We have been gone doing some more WWE pods. Boys have been kicking it over there. They're doing a fantastic job. I know you joined them recently. But hey, we're back to discuss round 2 of the NBA playoffs as well as what we're seeing for the conference finals. I'm your podcast host, Noah Marano. Thank you for joining us, whether it be on YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music. Go like, go comment, go subscribe. We appreciate everybody around the house. I am back again with my co-host and producer. He allegedly voted for the Tush Push ban as well as Shea for MVP this week. Quite controversial. We have anonymous media member number 37. Would you like to reveal your name, anonymous media member?
Absolutely not.
That's fair. I think that's a good move.
Yep. That's just opening the door to hate.
It really is. And, you know, the TikTok, they don't be loving you sometimes.
Hey, man. Sometimes you just got to be a polarizing figure.
It's fair. And honestly, polarizing means views. So, hey, let's kick it up. Oh, man. We got an exciting talk to discuss regarding the second round of the playoffs. It is officially concluded as of this past Sunday. We are recording on a Wednesday night. Knicks Pacers are about to kick off game 1. We just watched Oklahoma City thrash the Wolves in the second half. And we also heard about, as of 3 hours ago maybe, that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has won his first MVP award. He is the third Oklahoma City Thunder member since 2000 to win the award. Kind of crazy if you're a Seattle Supersonics fan. Kind of sucks to see anything good that they're doing. So this year has just not been a good year for you. Unless, of course, it leads to some cool, expansion teams coming down the road. But how did you feel about round 2? I thought it was very good. Obviously marred by injuries. That's been a lot of the talks about it. But I think, the series still had a lot of good moments throughout them, especially, the Nuggets Thunder series was just an all-timer.
Yeah, for sure. The Nuggets Thunder, sure we'll get into a lot of that. I'm not going to lie, a little disappointed. And again, it is injury. So it's just not really in anybody's control. But I think the potential for the Warriors, Minnesota, and the Cavs, Pacers could have been on the same level as Denver, OKC. But of course, when either your number one guy goes down or 4 of your number top 5 guys go down, it's just asking a lot of everybody else. And when a Batman goes against a bunch of Robins,
pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pretty tough for the Robins.
Yeah, pretty tough for the Robins. So it's it is what it is.
I am glad, though, that we got the 4 teams that we did, only because it basically just guarantees us, another year of the decade of parity.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this continues. I know this is kind of the first thing I want to ask you, just because this has been a topic of conversation I've seen a lot of, and I've seen some people kind of get upset that we've had so much parity in the league. Some people are speculating it's because of all the tax rules that are coming into play with how teams can really be built these days, which I think we're starting to see a little bit of that, especially because the Celtics are probably not going to be able to keep their team around. The Nuggets weren't able to keep a lot of key pieces. But listen, dynasties are dead. Here's my hot take. Who cares?
Yeah. I think it's I don't know. Whatever you just read, whatever you just said was stupid. You build your team through the draft, and you build your team maybe a really, really good. Build your team through the draft, free agency, right? Maybe sign a couple role guys, and whatnot, and then you've got a window.
Yeah,
you've got a window in which you can really keep this team together, because obviously we know in order to really win a championship, you definitely need a Batman. There are plenty of Batmans in the league, but whether you develop one or you go get one, you need to get one.
Yeah.
And then if you're developing him, fantastic, but you're gonna have to pay them when it's due. So you have that window. We see that with Boston. They built a good team, and then they had a window. Their window's a little bit longer.
There's a little bit longer than what I think we're going to be getting used to from here on out.
But that being said,
that was kind of pre this new tax era, though, too.
For sure.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have been around for a while.
So it's interesting. OKC, Their window's closing.
Closing, you say?
Yeah, like I mean, I say closing, but they probably have like another year or two, like to get it done. But they don't have like 8 years. You know,
I'm
they
glad
don't
you
have,
brought
like,
that up because that's kind of what I'm hinting at here with the it just being a harder. I think the window has shrunk significantly.
Now, yes, the window is shrunk. But that being said, now I'm thinking about it, like you're always going to keep SGA.
Yeah.
And if you can keep drafting well, you can extend your window.
And we've seen that with teams like the Warriors. You know, regardless of all of the ups and downs they went through, all it takes for them is one move to get back into it. We saw that with Jimmy this year. We're probably going to see it over the offseason with whoever the hell they're trying to go after because now that they have Jimmy, like they're definitely in we've got maybe one more crack at this to get another title. And then the Steph era is probably officially closed. But I agree, like Shea can be kind of that. I just think it's going to get really hard when it comes down to like, especially with the Thunder, like you're going to have to pay a couple guys. Like Jay Will is going to want a big contract.
For sure.
Chet's going to want a big contract.
For sure.
Lou Dort's you're probably going to, there's been a lot of talk they're probably going to lose Lou Dort this offseason.
Listen, and that's a reality.
Yeah.
But if you can either go get somebody in free agency that is Lou Dort, but up and coming, not the Lou Dort yet, or draft well.
And we've seen that they've been capable to do so.
Exactly. So. Then that window just extends. And so it really is just like, per organization and how the cards kind of fall. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I love that it like puts so much emphasis on building your team the right way.
I agree.
Like the
league will adjust. Teams will adjust into how they build their teams.
Yeah. Some teams won't though, because you're just cursed with generational failure.
For sure.
The Wizards being one.
I think the Wizards got a look. They've the most promising spark they've had in a long time
was the opportunity to get Cooper Flag.
Not even Flag. I'm like they've got some young players that I think they're still a Batman away. Like they've got to get the Batman in the door, but they've got some promising pieces down there. Listen, Wizards aren't gonna be winning anytime soon.
It's the thing is like there's a lot of Batmans in the league, but there's only so many Supermans, right?
I know.
So it's like you've got your Ant-Mans, your SGAs, your Jokic, your Giannis's, your Brunson, these guys are like Superman. Like this is like no matter the pieces that you put around them, you just get certain play styles and they'll make it work. To where it's like I feel like Batman's more it's like you need to have a perfect storm come through.
Interesting.
Not only do you have to have the right kind of play style, you just have to have the right kind of locker room, the right kind of guys, and then just have like a magic moment. Kind of what we're seeing with, maybe you can call the Pacers that. Like they just have the right group of guys. But if you stuck Hallie in another team, do they necessarily have the same exact success? I don't know. But if you took someone like Ant-Man, Jokic, these guys, if I put Jokic on any team in the NBA, they're pretty much
going to be a 45-win team immediately.
They're pretty much a contender.
Yeah.
So it's like, anyways, I don't know. That's an interesting. I'm here for it.
It's interesting. I'm here for it, but I also am the only reason I'm a little sad is just because I love like the history of the NBA. That's something like I've always loved since I was a kid. And you don't really get the same history in the NFL. Like if I asked you to rip off who won in the 80s in the NFL, guarantee you couldn't tell me like 3 teams. But the NBA, like you can go back to the 60s and know all the champions. And I do think we're going to be losing that, but I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. Like you said, I think I like this era of there's so many guys in the league now and there's so many alphas that like, we're just going to kind of bounce around and they're each going to get their crack at the pie. And like we see it with Jokic and Giannis, they both only got one out of this era. They might get more. Like their career is going to go on for a while, but they might not get it with their teams. They might have to move like we might see with Giannis this offseason. But Giannis has played 12 years in the Bucks and like he only got one. And I think we are going to see more of that rather than the just repeated success. But who knows? Maybe because there really is kind of like an opening for somebody to step up into that team. Maybe one of these 10 teams that we kind of see on the rise will step up and be that new dynasty. I don't know. The Thunder definitely have a hand in the card for it. So we'll see. We'll see how it works for them. But
I just think like if you go back to the 80s, like of course it was littered with Boston, LA.
For sure.
Littered. Like that was pretty much.
The league was Boston, LA.
Yeah. So, but then you get to the 90s and it's like, yes, while Chicago did win, 6 out of the 10 in that decade, who they faced.
They had different opponents.
Different opponents like every single time. So it's like, and then we get into like we got to LeBron, Steph, like, really it was LeBron and San Antonio.
Yeah.
They were always kind of like going at it. And then you had obviously throw in their OKC and Dallas.
Mm.
But then you get obviously the LeBron Steph, which was like felt like 6 decades long of just them meeting in the finals.
I will say I am so thankful we're past the all right, schedule it. Warriors Cavs June.
See, like that was I felt like that was really bad.
I hated that.
And it's like that's what I loved about the NFL was like, dude, you got a new Super Bowl champion every single year.
Every year, completely new slate. You have no idea.
No idea. And so it's like it just brings excitement to the game. It brings unpredictability. It brings, you don't know what's gonna happen. Anybody's one injury away from, whatever. Or I don't know. Every matchup's a good matchup. Every round is exhilarating. You're glued to the TV. So this playoffs has been awesome. The injuries definitely kind of brought it down just a little bit, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. But no, I'm glad we're on the same side with that one because I've just seen a lot of people like mourning the dynasty era of the NBA or talking negatively about this decade of parity. And you know what? I think when we look back at history, we're going to be just fine. I think it's going to be fine. My next question before we get into these matchups. We have 4 teams left that are all led primarily by guards, which is a new, refreshing thing. We haven't really had that. It used to be centers. Then it kind of moved into wings. Wings were like your primary thing. Kawhi, LeBron,
KD.
KD. Now we got 4 guards. And I would say, my question to you is, are these 4 guards the top 4 guards outside of Steph? And I have a list here if you want to try and go down it. But like, I was trying to think about this earlier today. I was like,
the only one that's like, I don't know if he can maybe stand up to some of the other ones is Hallie.
I agree. That was the one but I still think you go down and look at like what he's done and how he's played,
For sure. I think, like I said, Brunson, Ant-Man, SGA, those are Supermans,
bro.
So, and I just wouldn't put Hallie there. Tremendous respect for Hallie.
Yeah.
Love him. Love what the Pacers are doing. But so I don't know how he would stack up to some other guards in the league. I probably would take.
Yeah. Off the dome, I was trying to think of the other guards, and I couldn't really, so I looked up just a few. And you got Booker. You got Derek White, who's not like a superstar guard, but he's one of the better guards in the league. Fox, Ja, Luka.
Luka, I'd put Luka over Hallie.
For sure. Trey, Maxey, Murray, Mitchell, Garland, Cade, Kyrie, Harden. So there's actually a lot more than I initially thought when I was like first thinking about it. But even still, I look at that list
even then, I think the only people over Hallie would be Luka.
I mean,
that's pretty much.
At one point, we probably would have said Murray and Trey, but like
Trey's
just been marred by play-in tournaments for the past 4 years since the conference finals. That's the only thing really like.
Now, but if you put Trey on Indiana, probably get similar success.
I mean, listen, if you gave Trey another superstar, I nobody's talked about this. I would love to see the Hawks maybe make a push for some offseason pieces.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Is like out of all the guards you listed, I think only people that I would say you take Hallie out, put this person in, and they have the similar success, if not more. Would be Luka and Trey.
I got you.
You feel me? Like
I think Luka on this Pacers team would be destructive as hell.
Yeah, because their biggest strength is their bigs. And he loves to play.
Play the bigs, man.
Bro, you put Luka on New York.
Yeah, crazy, bro.
All those defenders.
It's crazy.
He doesn't have to play defense.
It's crazy, man. Imagine if Brunson and Luka played together.
Imagine.
Oh man, yeah. I just thought I was like, that's really cool. We haven't seen like this dominant era of guards before, and literally all 4 of these teams, their primary guy is a guard.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's really cool.
Is going to make for some interesting matchups.
It is, because these teams are all built out in different ways and a lot of fun ways. They're all really good teams. I do truly think we got the 4 best teams this year. Like, all props to Cleveland, all props to Boston, but like, I don't know. I just like these teams better. I don't know what to say. Yeah. So let's get into it. Thunder Nuggets ended Sunday. I've heard, I saw this and I'm kind of, it's not going to work because it was already used once, but these really are the new Thunder Buddies. They should coin that nickname because like there's like a lot of them now. It's not like just the 2 of them. It's like they all do the group interviews together. Surprised that hasn't caught more fire. Probably just because it was KD and Westbrook's thing. But Thunder Buddies. Game 7 looked really bleak to start. Christian Brown was going crazy.
For sure.
Was going crazy.
I was like, oh boy.
And for the first 10 minutes,
he has sucked this
playoff.
Oh
my gosh, yeah. For the first 10 minutes, I was legit like, wow, experience is really just gonna take this here.
Yeah.
And that's just gonna be the story. And then, boy, did it flip.
It's just like, I just wanted like, just off rip, like all the credits to OKC in the coaching decision because they came out with a lineup with
Yeah.
Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein, and it was very clearly not working.
No. Every
Um,
time Chet was on him, somebody switched Chet out quick.
And so they moved to in like the second quarter, they moved to a different lineup where they basically just took Hartenstein out and they put in Caruso. And we know how that went.
Dude, they just attacked Jokic with a flurry of guards.
Yeah.
Mainly Caruso, but like that's something we haven't really seen before.
It's Caruso and then Lou Dort came off like the weak side.
Oh my gosh,
Jokic
there was no space at all.
Listen, and now we kind of talked about in the group chat, like, were they fouling Jokic? I'd say some maybe. But others, I thought they were clean strips.
But listen, that's brilliant. Because you know why?
If they don't blow the whistle?
They get more leniency because they're smaller.
Yeah.
And so, like, they're going to be allowed to be more physical.
Yeah.
Especially, like, a guy like Caruso who's just, like, all over you.
For sure.
They're like, you got a foot on him. They're going to let him be more physical. And then when he was physical, Jokic had no room to work. And like you said, any type of weak side help would come. There was just no space at all for Jokic to operate.
And listen, they called it a few times where they came over and swipe it. But it's like, bro, it's only a foul if they blow the whistle.
Yeah.
And so they really kind of weren't every time they were coming off. And so like so it was like, we're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. 100%.
And if they call it to the point where it's like, this is hurting us to keep doing this, then we'll stop.
You stop.
Nobody else blowing the whistle.
That's good basketball though. Like you play to what the refs are giving you. Like
Sure.
you really do. Same with football. Like you get that sense early in the game and you play at it if it helps you.
And that's something I didn't notice about Denver. I was thinking to myself, I was like, is this Denver's weakness? Like what they're showing you right now, like, and then the thing about Denver, and Jokic is a proponent of this too, as brilliant as he is, when momentum is against them, they pout and they give up.
Jokic has this thing where he does like a 2 second,
and
then he starts running down the court, but it happens every play.
But it's like if in the third quarter especially, like momentum was heavy in OKC's favor. They were getting deflections. They were stealing entry passes to Jokic. They were getting out. They were running. They were dunking, and Denver just rolled over. They showed their belly, and they just like, and that's something that I've noticed.
They knew they didn't have it that night. It's like they knew they didn't have enough in general too.
Yeah, but they do that like in a lot of games that like momentum is swung against them, and it's starting to like get away to where you see a team like New York where momentum is heavily against them. They're down 20. They're getting played out the gym. And what do? They
don't care.
They don't care. They keep playing.
They don't even fucking blink.
Bro, and what happens? They come back from down 20 and they beat the best team in the NBA, as some would say, 2 times in a row in their home gym. It's like, so I don't know. I just thought Denver very early. I was like, Denver they gave up.
It was crazy. That was the perfect trump card Uno reverse to play at the perfect time was the Caruso thing.
Bro.
It worked out so well for them.
I was so happy for him, bro.
And it just showed that Denver just didn't have enough. Like they've been able to kind of play really well throughout these playoffs. I mean, obviously Gordon had the hamstring injury. He was clearly not 100%.
I know.
But
mad respect though.
Yeah.
Mad respect for
sure.
Playing.
That's
definitely
crazy.
He looked
he said it afterwards. He couldn't sprint really. He was like being very slow.
He was limping. Now, that being said, he was rebounding though.
He was the only one.
For sure.
He was the only one.
he was rebounding. And then Michael Porter Jr. had the shoulder thing. But he really didn't kind of show up either.
Yeah.
And then Murray, he showed up for game 6.
Yeah.
He had a really good game.
He really didn't have a great playoffs.
He didn't.
Not compared to what we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
And that just made me, it puts his place in the hierarchy into perspective for me.
Yeah.
That's what this series really did.
Yeah, it's because his performances, like he was overperforming in these last couple playoffs. Like,
you think he was overperforming?
Yeah.
I think that's truly who I think he just gets better in the playoffs, but I just think this playoffs he just didn't have it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean is like, yeah, he shows up in the playoffs, but like all in all, like what you saw was actually the Murray. Like what we saw this playoffs, that's Jamal Murray.
Interesting.
I think
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Those stretches you saw in the last couple playoffs, I think he was just kind of like overperforming and everything was just kind of going the right way. I wouldn't put him as an elite tier guard.
No, I wouldn't put him in the top tiers.
But if you look at his last 2 playoffs, how could you not?
Well, because of his regular season. That'd be like the main thing I would point to. That I still wouldn't keep him because he's also his defense. He's not an all around like great guard like we've seen some of these guys.
But Jimmy's so mediocre in the regular season as well.
Yeah, but Jimmy, adamantly chooses to be.
I know.
I don't know if Murray chooses to be.
Oh, really?
I think Murray, like, genuinely, he struggles with injuries throughout the season, and it takes him just a long time to ramp up because he had like a month in the regular season where he played he was like on fire, and like we all went whoa, and then he just kind of came back down to earth again. I don't think he's willingly choosing to. I just think he battles like these regular season injuries, and it just takes him longer to ramp up.
Interesting.
So I don't know, but like, before we move on, what do the Nuggets do?
Whew, that's a great question.
I just don't. I don't know what the move is here.
I don't either.
I did hear. Guess who's an unrestricted free agent and probably wanting to come back to Denver? Bruce Brown, baby.
They honestly need him. I don't know why he left in the first place.
Money.
Yeah, money was 100% the answer. Sure. I mean, they probably just run it back.
Yeah, I don't see. There's like, I definitely can see a world where they think this is. Listen, they were Game 7 away from beating this team, and if they're the last team left, I think a lot of people would be considering them a pretty heavy favorite just because of the history of them being there. But I don't know, man. Like my only thing is maybe Michael Porter Jr., but I've seen some people talk about his contract. It's just really hard to move, and I don't know who wants him.
I really don't know what they're gonna do. Maybe go get a coach.
Would it be so? I know you're not gonna like this. I've seen this thrown around on Twitter.
Don't put Giannis there.
No, not Giannis. That would be interesting though.
No, Chicago.
KD in the Michael Porter Jr. spot.
Sure.
Does it get any better?
No, because he's the Michael Jordan of Michael Porter Jr.'s.
I can't tell if that's disrespectful or not.
No,
two-time Finals MVP. Is he one-time MVP? Has he won two times?
Mm-hmm.
2 MVPs?
One time.
I mean, he's one of the greatest shooters in our league. Like greatest
yeah, Michael Jordan and Michael Porter
scorers
Jr.
ever.
Mm-hmm. As KD is everything Michael Porter Jr. strives to be.
He really misses the mark.
Yeah, bro. He's right now in this moment. Michael Porter Jr.'s got his feet propped up and he's just watching KD highlights
in Cancun.
In Cancun.
Oh man. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, listen. I've probably said on the pod. I probably made the statement. What I'm about to say right now, someone's already in the comments, but I just don't think KD is the answer anymore. Yeah. Like for a couple years when he was just bouncing around to like random teams, it was like, oh, we go get KD, we're a contender. And every single team he went to, except for the Warriors, which is such an outlier that they would have won without him. Mm-hmm. Didn't really do much.
I'm gonna tag him because he responds to people a lot on social media. Let's see if we can get KD to respond.
KD's probably gonna cook me, and that's okay.
Cook him, KD, please.
And that's totally okay.
He's actually been very cordial in his Twitter lately. Have you seen his little rants that he's been going on recently? Yeah. He's been very cordial compared to past KDs.
Bro, KD, what do you do in your free time, dog?
Like he really does enjoy it, man. He enjoys
bro, he does, bro, because people are stupid, and maybe I'm one of those people. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe if Denver goes and gets KD and they win, maybe I'm the idiot. But I just at this point in KD's career, I just don't know if necessarily you go and get him means you win.
Yeah. Wolves Warriors. Obviously, this one's marred by the Steph injury. Pretty heavily.
That hurts.
I definitely think this goes deeper if Steph's there for sure, not a question. No. I do personally still think the Wolves win, but I definitely, it's a coin flip, more of a coin flip at that point. Listen, the Wolves just have a lot they can throw at you all at once, especially when they're making threes. It's really tough to beat them. And ultimately, like a Stephless Warriors team just doesn't have enough firepower.
No, a Stephless Warriors team is does not have enough, and nor would I have ever said that they had enough.
Them to. Yeah.
Now I do disagree with you. I think with Steph that they
I know you disagree with that.
Which is fine. It's something we'll never know, and it kind of sucks. Yeah. And I'm sure Steph, out of everybody, feels the most upset about it.
He was apparently, based on one of the articles I read about it, he was like crying in the locker room afterwards.
Oh my gosh!
Like as soon as the injury happened, because he just knew like it was not good.
And it's like, sure, it's like, hey, Aaron Gordon played through a hamstring. It's like,
Steph's older, moves way more.
I was about to say that's the biggest thing is like the way that Steph plays. Like you can't, you can't,
no.
You cannot play on that. So
all
it's
that
like,
quick,
movements. And just running through screens for 48 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a thing.
So that sucked.
Yeah.
It was really, really unfortunate. Wolves obviously got it done.
Yeah. We'll talk more about the Wolves here in a minute with the OKC series.
Yeah, it's just
I will say, though, I think the Warriors are going to be really good next year. I think Steph and Draymond can pull Jimmy out of this. You can't do what you've been doing on the Heat in the regular season. I think they can pull that out of him.
Well, he doesn't. It's different, though, because on the Heat, like, anytime he plays, like, he has to be, like, one of their main options.
Well, that's my point. It's like I think he's going to get away from doing that now.
He can just chill.
Exactly. And so he can step in when he needs to. And he can be,
just rock out.
I don't want to call him a Robin because he's not a Robin, but he can be the Robin to Steph's Batman.
Yeah, he can just I don't know. He really could just do what he does in the regular season, just kind of coast.
Yeah.
Because him coasting alongside Steph is still him outperforming friggin' 75% of the people in the NBA.
This is one of my Giannis teams. From everything I've seen, I don't think they can do it. Like from everything I've seen on what packages can be offered across the league, they just don't have enough. Like they'll get outbid. But man, if I'm Giannis, like he loves Steph. He's already been on the record plenty of times saying that.
Yeah, if he goes there, dude.
Oh my gosh, that would be so good.
They are old as a team, but like, if anybody could figure out like not figure out how to use on Giannis as if he's like not a generational talent, but like if anybody can kind of work around his play style and just kind of mold their team to kind of fit him, it's them because the brilliance of Draymond, Steph, Jimmy, Kerr, like they'll be able to like create a very efficient offense using Giannis, and so
that would be crack cocaine in my veins, bro. I would love it.
I know
I
you
really would like it.
I would love it too, honestly, because like I am pulling for the Warriors because of Jimmy.
Yeah.
So
I think that just does so much for all their legacies. I think Giannis comes there, kind of follows a similar track to Kareem, no matter like if he comes to California. But gets, Draymond and Steph a 5. 5 is a different number than 4. For sure. Like that's like all-time great status for Steph.
Unfortunately,
and Jimmy won.
Yeah, but unfortunately though, like not unfortunately. I mean, I don't know. We'll see in the conversations in like 10 years from now when we get away from all this, but like you're always going to look back at the war like Steph and Draymond's championships and you should be like, yeah, but they had KD and Giannis. Well, if Giannis comes
if Giannis joins,
them. Yeah. If Giannis joins and gets them another one,
I think they're just validated simply because they've won 2 on their own. That's the only reason I feel like they're. I feel like the KD thing, sure, that's like a different conversation. I think the Giannis thing would be a little different just because they're not in their prime yet.
KD going is cheating.
Yeah, that's cheating. We don't need to discuss that too much, but yeah, I'm excited for them next year. If they can fend off the aging curve, they're gonna be really good, and they're gonna be a very good team next year. Because they got a lot of young pieces too. They'll probably trade Kuminga. Sign and trade looks to be like what's happening.
I don't know how much Steph's got left in the tank.
I don't know either, and that's why like I think you really got to go for it.
Yeah,
I saw another package. It wasn't real, but I saw another package of offering something for Bam. Apparently, that's what it was. Apparently, Bam's made some comment. I don't know if he made a comment or somebody else did about Jimmy's been kind of nudging him a little bit.
That's funny. Yeah, Bam's lit, bro.
The Bam would be fun too. Knicks Celtics, dude. Honestly, just one of the biggest shocks I've really watched in the NBA playoffs. And like
for sure,
one of just the most definitive ass kickings I've ever seen in the NBA playoffs. It reminded me a lot of how we went into the Wolves Dallas series last year.
Okay.
And I think like, I know we were really high on the Wolves. We knew Dallas was good, but like we were really high on the Wolves. And then they just thoroughly got thrashed, just completely thrashed. And dude, listen, everybody that I've seen is in agreement on this. Tatum wasn't changing this. Like him going down, they were going down 3-1. Even Tatum plays with those last 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Damn, man, this is a thorough and fleshed out ending to the Celtics window.
Yeah, I think it's 2 things. Like, yeah, it's Tatum going down. Not only did it was already like pretty much like you're pretty much lost the series, like either way, whether Tatum stays. Not only were you most likely getting eliminated, but you've lost your Superman, which I wouldn't call him that. I'm a hater, bro. I'm a hater though. You lost your superstar he might be out all next season.
He's most likely out all next season.
It's
I'd be very surprised.
Not only did you lose the series, you lost him for a year.
That's what sucks.
Which
like just honestly, worst case scenario.
Stabbed and then knife twisted. It's like not good. That being said, though, Boston led for majority of that series, which is so crazy.
They did.
I think even if Tatum goes down, if if Boston did what they were supposed to and closed out the first 2 games, they would have won the series without Tatum.
Without Tatum.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And so
I'm honestly glad that didn't happen because I would not want to see a conference finals without Tatum.
Yes. I 100% agree with you. I'm glad the Knicks won because getting a Boston without Tatum going against the Pacers.
We'd just be penciling in the Pacers to the finals.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of unfortunate.
So, listen, unfortunate Tatum went down, but listen, New York, bro, I've got a lot of thoughts on New York. I'm going to save it for when we go into this Eastern Conference Finals, but man, oh man.
Yeah. My last thing on this series, this is why you go get OG and Bridges. This is why. You got them to guard the 2 primary guys. Yeah. And by golly, did they step up and do that.
Not only that, and you also got Josh Hart, bro.
Josh Hart was going nuclear. Apparently, he just shoots threes now.
Yeah, only in the playoffs.
Only in the playoffs. Bloody nose and all, baby. Bloody nose and all. I owe Mikal Bridges a sincere apology. I was talking some shit on him last episode, and I've like really liked Mikal Bridges his entire career. I apologize. I was wrong. I don't know what he was doing in the regular season. Doesn't matter. He's doing this now. Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
Won them 3 games.
Yes.
I would say.
Quite literally.
1 game he had 14 in the 4th.
Yeah.
2 games game-winning steals.
He had the critical steals on both ends of the floor. Crazy.
2 game-winning steals. Like he stole the ball. The game was over. They won.
That's why you bring him
twice.
In. That's why you give up 4 or 5 draft picks for him. That's why.
That's why.
It's worked. Pacers, Cavs, again, just utter total dominance. Outside of the game too, it was kind of like, could they have won if their guys were there? I think so. But honestly, I don't know if that was winning them the series.
I don't know. I think 2 things. Cavs injuries, obviously, we'll never know. Mm-hmm. Second thing, I felt like because they had some guys injured, like Garfield, and they had they had Mobley.
Game 2, Garland, Hunter, and Mobley all did not start.
So they didn't play. I think that just like demoralized them. And it just, if you watch the game, like the Cavs just like didn't come to play.
Well, they were up big in that game. They got up huge in that game.
Yeah, in game 2.
And then they got utterly thrashed in the end of the 3rd and the 4th quarter. And in
the first half, it looked like they were going to blow them out. But that's the thing about this Pacers team. They're the same with New York, man. They're resilient and they just keep playing. Yeah. And if they can get it to within a certain margin, by the 4th quarter, they feel confident that they can get it done. And so it just looked like Donovan. I felt like Donovan was given like 35 a game. But he wasn't really guarding, and which he
never does.
Well, he never does, so we know. And the rest of the team just looked like they didn't really come ready to play.
I hate to say it,
which is weird.
It kind of just looked like the Utah Jazz teams of 6 years ago
with Donovan. Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know what it is about his teams. I think since he didn't have Mobley and Garland, because this year he's really pulled back on stats and let the other guys play. And that's what got them to 64 wins. Yeah. And then, like, in the playoffs, he just really couldn't do that because of the injuries, and he had to go nuclear. But I don't know, man. I just feel like his legacy looking back at it is going to be like, when you needed this guy to step up, he'd do it. But unfortunately, like, his teams just wouldn't win.
Say like Melo?
Yeah. Kind of like a Melo-like player. So.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, obviously missing.
It's unfortunate.
Obviously missing Defensive Player of the Year. Would definitely hurt.
Bad.
Any team that had a Defensive Player of the Year, if he goes down, then that significantly hurts your team. Yeah. So it's just unfortunate, but am I mad the Pacers moved on?
No.
Absolutely
I'm not at all. Especially because we all picked the Pacers. So.
Yep.
No, sorry. We all picked the Cavs. We all had them in various amounts of games.
Like
I had them in 7. You had them in 6. I think Lucas had them in 6. You might have had them in 7.
Yeah, injuries just.
Oh man, that just not a good series.
Yeah. Well.
But let's kick this into the '90s throwback of the century.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo! Knicks Pacers Eastern Conference Finals, man. I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot differently about how this series this year than we were talking about this series last year. And I'm curious.
Because you believe in the Pacers now.
Yeah, no, I definitely believe in the Pacers now. But like, also, I really don't know what to think of this Knicks team. I think the Knicks have the better starting 5, but I think obviously the Pacers have a much deeper team. And so
I disagree.
So really, you think the Knicks? You've kind of flipped to the Knicks side on this.
All right, so like,
let's get into this.
All right, so I really gave it some thought today, and I'm gonna piss some specific people off in my life. I think that this Knicks team is actually a lot deeper than maybe I was privy to, maybe most people were privy to.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
This Knicks team is not the same Knicks team of last year. I do think they have the depth to go all the way.
Yeah.
Because if you look at their 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Mitchell Robinson,
Yeah.
you've got what do they call him, Deuce, and you have there's one more dude that gets minutes.
Campaign maybe.
Huh?
Campaign maybe.
Yeah. He gets some in garbage time, but like they have the depth.
7 is enough.
7.
I think 7's enough.
7 to 8 is enough because, like, granted, you really don't want to take Brunson and them out.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like everybody's starters plays more in the playoffs, so it's like, but it's what those people off the bench bring, and it changes the team.
Yeah.
So it's like when Mitch Robinson comes in, you get a lot more defensive, rim protecting, defensive, rebounding.
Healthy Mitchell Robinson. Who knew, bro?
So it's like it just changes the identity of that team. And then you get Cat in, then you get this more versatile offense that, it quite literally is really hard to guard.
It is really hard to guard.
Even if the offense is just Brunson, it has been proven in the past that is enough. Nobody can really do anything about it.
It's not just Brunson and Cat.
But it's not this year. But it's not this year.
Like,
that's the problem.
You got some dudes who can really give you buckets when they need to, man.
And so, like, if you look at the Pacers depth and you look at the Knicks depth, I honestly, like, it's not. I don't think it's that
you've
far apart.
You've really surprised me here. I thought I want to believe in this Knicks team, and I initially picked Pacers.
Yeah.
I think we both did.
We did.
And as I've sat with it a few more days, I'm finding this a little bit more hard than I thought it would be.
Me too. And that's why I'm switching my pick.
Are you switching your pick? Oh, my goodness.
Because it's not official till it's on the pod. And I want to go Knicks here, I think, for a few reasons.
Wow.
One, I think I want to see New York City turn into Gotham.
Same.
I think I want to see New York City just burn in flames from success.
Any enemy of New York City should want this.
This makes no sense. How is the city doing good and it is doing bad at the same time?
It's worse than Philly. I didn't think we were getting worse than Philly,
bro.
But here we are,
bro. Philly won the Super Bowl. They did their little get on the light poles and pull them down. That's cute.
That's cute.
If New York wins the finals, that city will not exist.
Nuclear explosion.
We are gonna see YNs crawl out the sewers, dog, and see some things we have never seen before. That, bro. If you don't follow Sidewalk New York City on Instagram, if the New York Knicks win, you need to follow them and just see whatever the hell they post.
Oh man,
because that city is going to go insane, bro.
What percentage of this flip has to do with Timmy being your boy?
35%.
Okay, cool.
A good
it's
portion.
Definitely factoring into my decision
here. It's
definitely
factoring. Just seeing Timothée Chalamet happy makes me happy. And so big fan
of Al Gaib, baby.
Yeah, big fan of my messianic goat. So it's just, man, I think so. Timothée Chalamet, I think watching New York City just freak out.
Yeah.
And then when I actually looked at the rosters, they're the Knicks, of course, having Tom Thibodeau, it's you of course are all right. Well, he's not gonna play anybody.
He made some progress though.
But he did.
He made some progress.
And I will say, bro, I don't know who in the world. Actually, I do know, but I don't know who in the world is their training staff. But man, oh man, are these boys.
Believe me, if anybody's a Nico hater, one team to root for is the Knicks right now,
bro. Dude, it is.
Oh man, you're really putting up a good case here.
So I'm going Knicks. I'm going to go Knicks in. I kind of wanted to go 7 because a 7.
I
in
think
the Garden,
series is going 7 no matter what.
And a 7 in the Garden would be so electric.
Oh man.
I'm gonna say 7 because I want that.
Our friend is gonna hate us.
Oh, 100%.
Because I think I'm gonna go Knicks in 7 as well.
Hell yeah, you are.
Listen, I really like this Pacers team, and they're not afraid of this Knicks team. They're not. And honestly, like, I think this is the best thing that can be happening for the league of these two teams in the Eastern Conference Finals right now, because this rivalry is real. And on top of that, you have the history of the rivalry. Reggie Miller is also announcing the game, I think, tonight.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine you're a Knicks fan watching the broadcast. You got to listen to the 8 seconds, what was it, 9 points in 8 seconds every, 5 minutes on the broadcast.
No, they hate Reggie.
They're going to see the choking thing at least 15 times a night.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know, man. There's something about this Knicks team.
But does the Garden hate Reggie Miller more or Trae Young more?
Oh, Reggie Miller for sure.
You think Reggie?
1,000%.
They're still saying F you, Trae Young.
Oh, yeah.
And Trae Young is not even in the playoffs.
The Trae Young thing is definitely it's coming up. It's moving up that list really quickly.
But Reggie's just generational hate.
Generational. It's like Reggie and Michael Jordan. That's it. Like, that's the primary two.
Yeah,
I'd have to really think about who else is on this list. Hallie is definitely on there. I've heard some Knicks people talk this week. Dude, they do not rock with Hallie. They hate Halliburton.
Because he's light skinned.
It's for so many reasons, dude. But I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, I think the grind of the Pacers offense is gonna be very difficult to deal with. I think
that's the thing, though. Like,
TJ McConnell and Nembhard, they're not gonna defend Brunson, but they're gonna be up in his grill like 40 minutes a game. So does that kind of push it? Here's another thing I was thinking about. This Knicks team is so hard to pick against right now.
This is what I'm thinking about. And I was listening to Jeff Teague talk about it, because I actually really do like the insight that Jeff Teague gives. Not so much as co-host, but Jeff Teague gives. And he was talking about the Pacers Cavs series, and how Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith were able to kind of get loose and actually put up some big minutes.
Yeah.
But it's because they're just playing a Cavs team where Donovan Mitchell and Garland and all them don't really guard too much.
They don't really guard, no.
You're just not gonna have that case with the Knicks.
No.
Because
especially with the way they can defend you.
You've got OG, you've got Mikal, you've got Josh Hart, you've got Robinson in the paint. And Brunson, while he's of course no elite defender, I mean, he's gonna give his best effort.
He's surrounded by elite
but he's surrounded by elite
even
defenders.
Cat, when he's in the playoffs, like, he's so big, he can take up a lot of the defensive spacing. We're helping defense where he's not a primary center defender.
Yeah,
he still can bounce around. We saw it last year against Jokic, and he's doing it this year as well. So, dude, I mean, because OG's probably gonna be on Hallie, I'd imagine. And I probably think Bridges is probably going to be on Siakam. One of those two. They might switch that.
I put OG on Siakam.
You think they'd switch him?
Yeah, because
one of them's going to be guarding Hallie. That's all I know. They're going to put one of their primary guys on him. The only reason I say OG is because I think he's the better defender of the two. Not by a lot, but I think he's the better defender.
He's just bigger.
Yeah, but honestly, maybe that bothers him.
Yeah, I was also listening. There's also something Jeff Teague said. He's and once he said it, I was watching and I saw it. But nobody fights through a screen like OG and Mikal. They fight through screens. So it's you're really not gonna be able to shake them.
No, they're gonna be.
It's gonna be interesting, man. It really is hard to, because not only have all these defenders, bro. It's the Pacers don't really have anybody to guard Brunson. I think the two toughest defenders, I would dare to say, in this playoffs, Brunson already just got through.
Yeah,
and that's Drew Holiday and that's Asar Thompson.
Yeah.
I think he just went through absolute hell.
That was a gauntlet, yeah.
With those two defenders. I don't think anybody on the Pacers is of that level.
No. Nembhard is typically the one guarding him in the regular season.
Sure.
I saw some stats.
Good defender.
It didn't work, though.
Definitely not going to work.
It didn't work.
Nesmith, great defender.
Not going to work.
Not going to work. I'm telling you, if Brunson was able to get in, now Brunson has struggled in this playoffs, but granted, remember, being guarded by two incredible athletes. Yeah. One, probably the best guard defender in the league, and the other one, up and coming freak of an athlete, and Asar. So
our friend's gonna hate us, bro.
Brunson, bro. Brunson's gonna cook, bro.
He is,
because Hallie ain't guarding him. That's for dang sure.
I do think it's gonna go 7 regardless.
That's cool. I just want to see it in the Garden.
I agree though. If it gets back to the Garden for 7, I don't know if the Pacers can win that.
But it was 7 in the Garden last year, I think.
But again, this is different.
It's different.
This
it is.
this
And
is
also, like-
very different.
Also, like last year, the Knicks were hurt.
yeah, they were very hurt.
They were hurt.
OG was gone more than half the series.
Yeah, they were limping.
Yeah. They didn't have Cat. They basically had 5 dudes. They basically had maybe 5 dudes. Like
Maybe, yeah.
They were struggling to find a 6th and 7th. Now they have a real 6th and 7th. And like they're really good. They're all healthy. They're all playing really well. They're kind of just clicking at the right time. So
I mean,
I don't know, man. It's just a vibe. That's
It's
a
vibe.
big reason I'm picking the
And you
Knicks is a
know-
vibe.
and you know me, it's like I love a good hard-nosed defense.
Yeah.
And like that's just what they are right
Yeah.
now, man. And how could I root against that?
Yeah.
While I love the Pacers,
Yeah.
I've been like I've went to battle for the Pacers multiple times.
Oh yeah.
On the pod. This series, I think I'm gonna take the Knicks in 7.
Yeah. Thunder Wolves, another great, fantastic matchup with 2
Yeah.
of the best young guards in the league.
Agreed.
2 teams that can just throw a lot at you at once. Julius Randle has just become a different animal this entire
Yeah,
playoffs.
dude. He has been
He had 5 threes
so
in the first
good.
quarter last night.
he has been so good this playoffs.
It's unreal.
I have no idea where it came
It's
from.
unreal.
He showed flashes of this in his career.
Yeah.
But like it's just been littered with like him also just making terrible decisions
Oh yeah.
and him having just inconsistency. So listen, bro, if he can keep it up, like that's insane. But the moment if he ever does revert, this
Yeah.
team is screwed.
I unfortunately think it sucks too that it sucks for the Wolves that they lost a game 1 with such a good Julius Randle game.
Yes.
'Cause
Because
that's-
of a terrible Nas Reed game.
If there was a good one to steal, that first half was like
Oh, they were in it, bro.
they were very much alive and they were not scared at all. And I saw some stats on the shooting percentages.
Dude, Nas Reed shot like terrible.
Oh, he's been
and
shooting terrible, man.
DiVincenzo shot terrible.
That's so the Wolves have this tendency. They can go really cold from the 3. They can also go through these really Orlando Magic-esque offensive droughts
Mhm.
where they just don't score and they turn the ball over a lot. And it's
See,
gross.
That's not good though.
It's not good,
It's not good
especially against this Thunder team.
OKC. Yeah.
Because they turn the ball over more than anyone else. I did hear a good point to counter that was just that if the Wolves also turn the ball over a lot, which they do, if they can get as many turnovers to kind of balance that out, it's not going to matter as much, which you saw a little bit of that in the first half.
Yeah.
But, dude, like the first quarter, they had 8 turnovers like already. And it was like, guys, we can't be doing this. Is not how you're going to win this series.
Yeah.
And they were getting some as well, and they were putting good defense on the entire Thunder team. Like Shea was playing awful. They couldn't make anything. Unfortunately, though, like they started making everything in the second half, and it
Yeah.
just kind of got out of hand.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. So it's like that's my biggest fear for the Wolves is just that if there's one thing that's going to screw them in the series, I feel like it's going to be that because the Thunder just can exploit that so much where they just press that button and they go, especially at home, they go on these runs, bro, that are just like they feel hopeless for the other team.
Bro, ask Denver about it.
Ask Denver about it, bro. Did
Dude,
not
bro,
go well.
At one point, I think it was like a 14-0 lead
Yes.
or a 14-0 run. It was like they were killing Denver.
Yeah, it's a tough uphill battle. I've been really struggling with this pick. I initially for the playoffs, I picked the Thunder to win the finals. And my heart really loves this Wolves team. And even still, I think it's a coin flip. Like I think either team can win this series. I just am really struggling on like who I think is actually going to do it. And I tried to think about this as much as I could before I saw game 1 last night. So I'm trying not to include my game 1 feelings into it. Also, though, it's just game 1. Like the Wolves just lost game 1 to the Warriors too, and it flipped. So I know different circumstances, but you know that can happen any time of the series. So I don't know, man. Like I've been really struggling because I want to stick with my original pick, but
All I'm gonna say
I
is
really like this Wolves
you
team
have
and
been
it
dying
sucks.
for us to get back on the train.
I know.
And the moment me and Lou get back on the train, we're like, okay, cool, let's go Wolves. You're like, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take the other team.
I just don't know. I just don't like because legitimately
pick with your heart, not your wanting to
okay.
be right.
If that's the case, if that's the advice I'm gonna heed,
I'm like Nick's heart pick.
then I'm taking Wolves in 7.
That would be
'Cause that's my heart.
in OKC.
That's my heart. My head, everything about my head screams Thunder. But my heart wants Anthony Edwards to get to the finals with this Wolves team. Also, I want to see a Wolves Knicks finals. I think storyline wise, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Those all so many things.
If that's
Julius
the case,
Randle going home, Cat coming home.
That storyline wise,
Oh
is
my
really
gosh.
good. That being said, if that does happen, Knicks I will be on this train for one stop. Just understand.
Really? Wow.
Understand
You're
that.
gonna bail on me on one stop of the train.
Understand.
You're gonna pull me off my train.
Yeah.
And then go pick the Knicks.
Because, listen, because Timothy Chalamet is calling. Yep. And I will answer the call. Okay. I will raise my banner. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go Timberwolves in 6. Only reason I'm going 6 is because I don't foresee them being able to win a 7 in OKC. That's why. It's
so
more
you
of
think
like
they have to get it done in 6.
I think so, because man, like could you win in OKC? Yes. But Denver, with the experience that Denver has, like Denver being on the road necessarily wasn't a total disadvantage. Of course, it is a little bit. But if they couldn't get it done, if they got blown out, they got thrashed in OKC for Game 7, because the fans are going to show up. And Trae Young said it. OKC fans are louder than New York fans. So, I think they got to get it done in 6. They got to get it done in front of their home crowd. But I'm on the Wolves train. I'm with you. And listen, could I change my pick? I could, but I'm rocking.
I would feel really bad if I got the Thunder right and then I bailed on them last minute.
That's up to you.
I would feel really bad about that because I've gotten the last 2 correct. I got Celtics right and I got Nuggets right. I'm trying to go for the 3-peat here. but I'd much rather see Minnesota in the finals. Like 1,000%, I'd much rather see Minnesota in the finals. You guys are making it difficult for me. Just you and Lucas specifically.
For sure.
If I didn't have you whispering in my ear, it'd still be hard, but I think I would stay with the Thunder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree. What do I care more about, my heart or what I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
I'll go
because if the Timberwolves lose, you're still going to be I picked OKC though.
But that's what I've been going back and forth with all week about too, because I know once I pick one of these, I can't make those statements anymore.
You can't because you're going to get grilled.
Exactly. So it's like, do I take the path of no, listen, I was with OKC all along. I picked them before. This is where I'm going. They're winning the finals. And do I be right about that, or do I switch off of it? And then I just have to live and die by that. Nope, I switched to the Wolves and I got.
Well, I went Wolves because you want us all on the train.
I know.
So I guess what I would say is
I've been the conductor of the Wolves train for the past 2 years.
So if you're getting off, I got no reason to get on. What am I gonna sit there?
So you're changing your pick now. If I
well, all I'm saying is, what do I think is gonna happen, and what do I want to root with my boys?
So you think the Thunder is gonna win?
I think there's a head, like, really, if you look at it, who do you think is going to win? And then there's my boys are rooting for this team. I could just join them and we could root.
It's a head heart thing. This is the biggest head heart decision of my entire life. It really is. Listen, you guys are going to rip me if I get off my original pick. You already did it once. You already didn't like the whole Warriors flip up.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm getting ripped no matter what. It doesn't matter.
No, not for the Wolves, because you infamously are on the Wolves train. I know. You would get ripped more if you picked OKC. Because you were like, boys, we're so back. We're so back. We're all the Wolves.
Listen.
Literally 4 texts later, Noah's like, I might be taking OKC. It's like, bro, we literally we're taking the Wolves.
Well, I only said that because I had them in my bracket to begin with. Because I didn't think the Wolves were getting to this point.
I mean, this is fair. None of us had them going this far.
Listen.
Yeah, because I have the Warriors winning.
Anthony Edwards, if you're listening to this podcast, I don't think you are. We're going Wolves in 7. We want tickets to games.
we rocking with Ant-Man.
We're rocking with Ant-Man.
We're rocking with
That's
Ant-Man.
what we're doing. I hope you get it done quicker, because I agree, Game 7 in OKC, pretty tough task. But if there's anybody to do it, it's the God Killer.
Hey, man, he is collecting legends like Infinity Stones.
He is collecting Infinity Stones right now. Can you imagine Ant in the Garden?
Bro,
for the finals, bro.
I know.
That would go crazy.
It's gonna go crazy. And the narrative too.
Oh my god.
With the trade that they did. Though. Like, that was such a win-win trade, man. Obviously, because of where we are.
It's turned out to be one of the most win-win trades in probably the history of trades.
For sure.
Like, it has to be now.
Literally the next season, both already in the conference finals.
And if they both get to the finals, my God, it's like we both got exactly what we wanted.
For sure.
This is everything we wanted and more.
Man,
crazy.
The narratives would go
It's crazy
if we get a Knicks Wolves, man. Holy cow.
We're going to see.
Because, yeah, I mean, the league's only got so much time because San Antonio's coming.
San Antonio's right on the heels.
They're not in the playoffs, but they're coming.
Wemby is coming. Especially if Big Freak Boy joins them down there in Texas.
They're
man.
coming, bro. So, y'all.
I heard he really likes Florida. That's what I've heard.
Who?
Giannis.
Hey. It is what it is. How about Chicago? What about the Windy City, huh? That's nice. They got the bean.
It's cold.
It's cold, but they ride for you. They'll ride for you. That's for sure.
Oh man. All right, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go watch some Pacers Knicks. Man, I'm excited about this series. I really am. It's gonna be fun.
Oh boy.
Anyways, we've got a lot of fun things coming up on the summer for you guys. We're gonna end our coverage of some shows here soon. Ironheart's coming up. We're not going to cover the show. We might give a talk about it after it's concluded, because there's some rumors going around. It's only going to be 2 weeks. Maybe 3 episodes 1 week, 3 episodes the next.
Yeah, pretty quick.
So if that's the case, then we're going to be back quick on that one. We're going to be back for Superman. We're going to be back for Fantastic Four, of course. But we're going to start a new series here in the summer. It's going to be really fun. We're going to drop a video here soon, kind of explaining that. So check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube, of course.
Definitely follow on Instagram.
Yep.
It's this new series that we're about to run through is all through fan engagement.
Yep. We're gonna need you. We need you guys as the voters
for sure
to help us out.
Oh, it's gonna be so crucial. So follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll be posting some stuff there pretty soon. Where I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we're gonna have.
We are very giddy about it. We're very excited.
It's gonna be good. So.
All right, that's going to be it for us at the house. Again, subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, follow on Instagram, like, comment, go tell your friends, and we will catch y'all later.